As you know, Joe Biden plan is to cancel student loan debt for the people, but the Supreme Court put a stop to that back in July. You already know Joe Biden camp wasn't too happy with that. Since July until now, here's what's been going on. Article after article, so much breaking news about student loan debt forgiveness. People are frustrated. People don't want to pay back. It's a lot of chaos. People don't know what to expect. And I've been doing a lot of research on what's the plans moving forward. So let's get into it. What is plan B? After spending hours and hours, here's what I found and here's what could happen. There was a law passed back in 1965 called the Higher Education Act. So basically, in simple terms, this act helped people go to college and get money, make sure the schools and teachers are doing a good job, also make sure everybody's treated fairly, and make sure if other schools need extra support that they get the support that they need. But the good thing about the Higher Education Act of 1965, it provides some authority for the Secretary of Education to waive, to modify, or release certain federal student loans. And I found 5 loopholes of where the president can use to help the people. First, the president can use executive action. What I mean by that, the president could direct the Secretary of Education to use the authority granted by the Higher Education Act to modify federal student loans. This might involve targeted relief or forgiveness for specific groups of borrowers, such as people who have been defrauded by for-profit colleges, applicants who apply for the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program, people with permanent disability, people that have low income, or targeted professions or industries. There are so many professions and industries that allow the masses to qualify. But the president can work with Congress to expand existing loan forgiveness programs or create new ones. This might involve forgiving a certain amount of student loan debt for individuals who meet specific criteria. But the good thing is they can create certain criteria that will allow anybody to qualify for, which is a win-win. Think about it. Let me give you some examples. Qualification based on participation in income-driven repayment plans, employment in high-need fields or regions, completion of volunteer or community service, demonstrated a long-term repayment history, or is a part of the military. Also, forgiveness could be about if they have a larger family, and don't forget experience of crisis or economic hardship. There are so many different options. There are so many different ways where the president can talk to the Secretary of Education and modify based off of specific criteria, like I just laid out, whether they do volunteer service of so many certain amount of hours, or they do this amount of community service, and if they do 1 or 2, 3 hours, they can get this amount, or all of their debt waived based off of what the hours they do, or if they become a teacher, or if they work overseas, or if they're in the military service, they do 4 years, 8 years, 20 years, they can get all their debt waived. There are so many different things they can come up with where people can get portion or all of their student loan waived, or by just doing what the criteria just laid out. So if they come up with the criteria and let people know that if they do this, and this, they can get $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 waived based off of whatever criteria they come up with, right? Let me know in the comments what your thoughts, what you think about this. Another loophole can be interest rate reduction. The president can advocate for changes to federal student loan interest rate through the Higher Education Act. Lowering interest rate can make it more manageable for people to repay their loans. As you know, or if you're unaware, interest rates are based off of the type of student loans you have, such as direct subsidized loans and direct unsubsidized loans for undergraduate students are about 3.73%. Professional graduate students who have direct unsubsidized loans are about 5.28%. Direct plus loans for both parents of dependent undergraduate students and graduate or professional students are about 6.28%. There are other private loans and other loans that have higher interest rate, and probably they have hidden fees, and if they just modify it, it will lower the payments and of course put money back in your pockets. So let me know what your thoughts about this. The third loophole is modifying the income-driven repayment plan. The president can support and expand these plans, which set loan payments based on a person's income, making it more affordable for those with lower income. Expanding or improving some of these existing programs could help alleviate the burden for some people. Let's hear what the president have to say when it comes to this new income-driven repayment plan.
We're proud to announce a new program called the SAVE Plan. It's the most affordable student loan plan ever. And here's how it works. To pay back that loan, you had to pay 10% of your discretionary income. That's all the income available to you after you pay for food, housing, and all your basic needs. Under my new plan, we're reducing that payment to just 5% of your disposable income. That's going to save the typical borrower around $1,000 a year. It's going to give borrowers a little bit more breathing room. And if your annual income is less than $30,000, your monthly payment will be zero until it gets above $30,000. As long as you pay what you owe under this plan, you'll no longer see your loan balance grow because of unpaid interest.
So here we go. Here's another loophole we can use, and there's multiple loopholes we can use to actually help the people, all right? So this act right here says expanded access to grants and scholarships. While not directly related to student loan debt, the Higher Education Act includes provisions for federal grants and scholarships, right? The president can advocate for increasing funding for these programs, which can help reduce the need for student loans in the first place. So flexibility in loan repayment terms. The administration could explore options for providing more flexibility in loan repayment terms within the framework of the Higher Education Act. This might include adjusting repayment schedules based on individual circumstances or exploring innovative approaches to loan repayment. I believe they could have been fixing this act or using this act in the first place by changing and modify different things in the beginning. So here's another way they can actually, use this act, collaborate with state programs. The Higher Education Act could be leveraged to encourage collaboration between federal and state programs aid at addressing student loan debt. This might involve offering additional incentives or support to states that implement effective measures to reduce the financial burden on students. All right. Another thing they can do is expansion of grant programs. This act allows for the expansion of federal grant programs, and policymakers could explore ways to increase the availability and amount of grants for student loan with financial need. This can reduce the reliance on student loans to fund education. All right. Another thing they can use is support for community colleges. The Higher Education Act includes provisions for support in community colleges. Policymakers can focus on strengthening these provisions to make community college education more affordable and accessible, potentially reducing the need for significant student loans. Like I said, man, there's so many different ways, so many different things where this act allows us to basically modify to where it's a win for us. But are you really thinking they're going to try to help us? Just let me know in the comments. But not least, all right, streamlining loan repayment process. All right, the administration can use its influence to simply improve the process related to the loan repayment. This could involve making it easier for people or borrowers to enroll in income-driven repayment plans or other repayment options, right? Enhance support for forgiveness. The administration could work on simplifying and improving the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program, which is designed to forgive the remaining balance on federal direct loans after 10 years of qualifying for public service employment. Streamlining the application process and providing better guidance to people could be part of these efforts. All right. Financial literacy initiative. This act can be utilized to implement financial literacy initiative aimed at educating students about responsible borrowing, budgeting, and repayment strategies, right? Better informed people make more sound financial decisions, reducing the likelihood of excessive student loan debt. Technically, there should be no excuses on why they can't modify this act to help the people, but we already know they probably not. So if you have any student loan collections, charge-off, bankruptcy, or anything that's negative on your credit report, hey, you want to go get my book to help you knock credit bills out.